Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Theorist, here with your host, JC Botero67. And of course, we're taking a look at the usual Tower of God. This is chapter 299 of season 2. So it's really interesting. I was almost going to say season 3, that's why I was hesitating. Because what the point that I was trying to make was that we are almost to chapter 300 in season 2, which is insane. I mean, there's so many chapters to this story, but it's amazing. It's like, I don't want it to end, but at the same time, I do want to find out how this story is going to come to a close. But, I mean, we're still a long way from it. There's so much still to learn about, so much to uncover, so much that still needs to happen. So, we're a whiles away from that. But anyway, coming back to chapter 299, we basically start off with Baum and Zahard. They're about to face off, and then at some point, Zahard asks, "Are you not afraid of me anymore?" And so I want to read these thought bubbles that Baum has. And I mean, obviously he's going to be afraid. Like, who would not be afraid to face off against friggin' the young Data of the King of the Tower? Like, but anyway, Baum goes on to say, I'm sorry. This feeling of tension that I might get killed at any moment. I'm so anxious that I want to run away from here screaming like before. But I have to overcome this. Because that Data over there is the past of someone who might end up becoming my sworn enemy someday. And then we cut back to, I don't know why I was going to say Icarus. Not yet. So we cut back to young Zahard, and he says, good. It looks like you've got enough spirit now. That's surprising growth for such a short period of time. Now, let's test whether that spirit is the only thing that's changed. So he's throwing this attack at Baum. And let me just stop here for a second to say that this is going to be like a live read. I just read the chapter, but I definitely want to go through it again. And so I'm kind of live reading it as we go here now. All right, so this is a powerful ass attack, making its way toward Baum. Baum evades it, though, so that's really awesome. And I'm assuming this is Baum's thought bubble. He's like, how can an ordinary attack have such destructive power? There are 4 cores. I have to avoid a head-on confrontation from the start. So he's kind of floating up there. This is probably, let's see, because that's ground level, 2nd. So he's like on the 3rd level of the 4 different things. I'll just include a picture. So anyway, Zahard says, so you don't intend to face me from the start. I'll give you a break. And I'm guessing this is his thought bubble, Zahard's, because he's like, 1, 2, 3. Not much of a break that he gives Baum, because he just comes up, aims a punch at him, which luckily Baum is able to avoid that, or evade that, and it was really cool. And it even shocks Zahard, because he's like, you dodged it? You really have changed. Then, shall we step up the pace a bit? So then there's endless punching that happens. Eventually, Baum gets thrown back against one of those, I don't even know what to call them right now. Levels or whatever, but I'll show you here. It's one of the rings. There we go. That's what we can call it. So Baum takes a pretty hard hit. I mean, he's bleeding already. And then frickin' Zahard's like, sorry, I was trying to control myself, but I must have gotten too excited. To be honest, I was extremely surprised when you dodged that first punch. I can't believe you grew to be that fast. You must have performed a revolution with Edwan's help. I also went inside myself with the help of a guardian on the train. Baum's catching his breath there. And now we're back with Zahard. It was inside myself that I found out that I have the destiny of a king. Whether I like it or not, which he totally does. I mean, don't bullshit us right now. I realized that I would become the peak of this tower and rule over everyone. Tell me, little monster, what did you see inside yourself? See, he keeps calling him little monster because he called him that before, and I have a kind of potential theory to that, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. So Zahard goes on to ask, what destiny is making you stronger? So Baum's thinking about it. I love the look in his eye. It almost looks like he's fire reflecting in his eyes. And then Baum is thinking to himself, what I saw this time when I went inside myself. So he's surrounded by water. I mean, this guy has such an affiliation with water, right? He got pushed into water by his best friend. I mean, All right, anyway. So here he encounters like this blue dude. I know someone was talking about this blue dude. It was either Twitter or Tumblr that I saw it on, and I was like, oh man, I'm spoiling stuff for myself. And I was like, who's blue dude? I was like, is it Kun Edwan? Is it Kun Aguro? But now I know who they're talking about. And then we also see Viol is here too. And then can I just point out, I don't know why, but this blue dude reminds me of Hades. I don't know if that's the point or if that's just pure coincidence. But anyway, Hades dude is like, what's this? Someone has come in here again. And then Bomb's like, what are you doing here? My sworn enemy? Why is my sworn enemy in here? I'd like to ask you the same thing. Why do you keep shoving things in here? First that red guy suddenly came in here, then that massive thorn wrapped in bandages. Hey kid, are you like a blue whale or something? And then Bomb's like, sorry, a lot of stuff has happened recently. Then blue guy says, seeing that you've come all the way inside here, you must have met another super strong opponent and need strength. Bomb's like, yes, I think I need enough power to rule the world. And he's just so cute and innocent when he says this. Like, he's just so adorable. I just want to give him a hug. Okay. And then it's really funny because blue guy and Viol are like, ... like, what the fuck? So then Hades guy, I like calling him Hades. I'm not going to call him blue guy anymore. That's someone else's name for him. My name for him is Hades. So Hades is all like, you've gotten tougher. You used to say you didn't need anything like that. So then Bomb's like, well, that's because I'll never beat this opponent unless I do that. And then Hades is like, it must be a really strong man. And Bomb says, yes, he's completely different from the enemies I've encountered so far. This guy is the data of the person who will become the king of this tower, the enemy of my parents, and the young data of my sworn enemy who I'll have to face even if I return to Foog. Everyone is telling me to kill him, regardless of what I want. Everything is making me hate and fight him. But what am I? Am I just a person who was born to avenge someone else? Or to make someone else's long-awaited wish come true? The more I find out about myself, the more faint my own existence feels. Like the bubbles floating in this water. As if I was created for someone else's desire and will disappear once that goal is reached. What am I? All right, so I'm going to pause there for a second because this is where I have that theory that I want to share with you guys. So when Bomb talks about having to serve someone else's purpose and suddenly disappearing, it really makes me question if he really was created. I mean, you take a look at his name, 25th Bomb. To me, that kind of reminds me of Hwoarang and Kasano, because they also had numbers that were given to them. It was Sophie or Sophia or whatever her name was that gave them their names, right? Hwoarang, Kasano. So I'm wondering if Bomb, because he's the 25th Bomb, potentially he could be a test tube baby, is my theory. 24 others before him failed, or I don't know how they got these numbers. Maybe there were less, and somehow he was 25. It could be according to the day, too, because I know Bomb, translated to English, is night, so 25th night of the month. Maybe it was just like earlier in the week that some experiments failed, and he was the successful one. What I also was thinking, too, is we know for sure that Arlene is his mom, but what if V isn't his dad? I mean, that might be a for sure thing, but it could be a cover, you know? It could be a cover-up of some sort, and there's something more to Bomb therein. So that's probably, as I deduced, what Zahard wants to find out. You know, it's about what Bomb is and how he came to be, and that's what Zahard keeps pressing on Bomb. So those are my thoughts on that. So continuing on where we left off here, Bomb had asked, what am I? And so Viol has this ... happening. And then he goes on to say, you are. But then that brings us back to where Bomb and Zahard are, their attacks are countering each other. It's really interesting. So it almost looks like electric power. Because I don't know, I guess like seeing the yellow makes me think of, what's this team on Pokemon Go? The yellow team, because of the electric, that's what it makes me think of. And then friggin' Bomb's like Team Mystic here. So, yeah, and then the attacks are just going everywhere among the stadium. And so Zahard observes an orb. That must be what your Shinzu looks like. Only those born with outstanding tension can create that. Plus, it won't be easy to stop my Shinzu with the shape that you just found out about. It seems like you're barely hanging in there now, but you could become a threat if you grow even more. I had better crush you here. So it's crazy. Okay, I didn't see Bomb's little orb before. Like, I mean, I saw it, but I didn't realize how tiny it was in comparison to freaking Zahard's large-ass metallic ball here. It just feels so weird saying that. It's like, my ball's bigger than your ball, look. Okay. So he sends this thing flying, pretty much wrecks a big chunk of the stadium, and that is where we get revealed the first core, which you can see here. It's all purple and beautiful. As for Bomb, he did manage to save himself, which is good. It is a little scary, though. All right, and then back to his thoughts, we see here, that's it. I found it inside myself. So Viol, back to Viol, you are simply me. And then in parentheses, there's an I and a U, so that would also be like, I am simply you. Why do you keep waiting for someone else and relying on others to find yourself? You're you. Whether you're alone or with other people, that's what you've always been. Don't trick yourself into thinking that someone else will define you for you. So, I mean, those are wise words from Viol, and I think that was really nice, and it was cool to see that. And I mean, it's always funny because I feel like that's like a common theme in like certain movies and whatnot, where it's like, you know, you search deep within your inner self and then you get that strength, you get that confidence to get back up and fight for what's right, fight for what you believe in, and, you know, be successful. So hopefully this is true for Bomb. I'm pretty sure it will be. I mean, there's no way the story can go on and Bomb dies. Like, nuh-uh. That's not happening. So as I said, Bomb is picking himself back up. He's like, that's right. And then let's see. It looks like his orb is getting bigger, or I know it was helping him block, you know, getting like thrown off course, or, you know, getting hit even more by Zahard's power. So maybe it's kind of sucking up that like force field that it had around him. Oh, and that now it's flashing now. And then it's so funny because I saw someone comment below here on Webtoons about the whole I am white, because friggin' Bomb's like, I am. And he's probably going to say like me. We left off with them, with Bomb and Zahard there. So we won't see them again until next chapter. But I think that's the point of the cutoff, because probably in the recap is where we'll see I am. And then, you know, he's going to be saying it's himself and being more confident and, you know, getting that extra strength that he needs to beat Zahard. So anyway, speaking of white, here we see him, here we see Icarus, and of course Traveler. And so Kun questions Icarus, and he's like, what are you doing with them? She's not sure how to answer, and of course someone has to interrupt this whole thing. So there go the theories that Phenom Uprising had. I had agreed with him that on what could potentially happen between Rachel and Kun, and that's kind of getting pushed aside for now. Eventually we'll get back to that. But, you know, we'll see what SIU does with this. But anyway, Urek Mazino is the one to interrupt, and he's like, tisk tisk. Take it easy there, guys. You're gonna have to work together now. Kun looks up, surprised, and he's like, Urek Mazino? And then he says he's gotten smaller. Well, I mean, this is the younger version of Urek Mazino, as we've said before, so that makes sense. And so, oh, it's really cool, too. If you see this picture here of Urek, it almost looks like he has, like, a bruise or, like, some veins just kind of forming on his... Let me get my... Okay, right. It would be his right eye. Yes. Sorry, had to get that right. So anyway, Urek Mazino says, now we have to go and destroy the scale that shows the past. Or, I'm starting to wonder if it could potentially be Urek Mazino, because I know it got pointed out to me, I think it was Phenom Uprising who pointed it out, Or if I'm not giving proper credit, I apologize. But whoever it was that pointed that out to me, kudos to you. But see, now I'm starting to think that this could be the actual Urek Mazino. I mean, you see the error signs. Rancors shouldn't be in here. And I mean, if there is some kind of pain being inflicted upon him, or like an injury showing, I feel like that has something to do with, you know, it being the real him, I guess. Like, it's really hard for me to explain, but I don't know. That's my thought on that. I'm just like looking at these pictures back and forth now. But yeah, I feel like there is that potential, because why would there be error signs around him, you know? Guess we'll see what happens. That will hopefully get explained to us at some point. SIU, please. But anyway, what I did want to focus on this part was the fact that he's trying to join these two teams together to destroy this scale, or I'm assuming would be the mirror also. And I'm really wondering if, you know, maybe he can't do it, because it would be so easy if he could just break it himself, right? But for some reason, he needs Kuhn's team and White's team to take care of it. So I'm pretty sure it's something that he can't do for whatever reason. And so maybe, it wouldn't have to do with anything of what I'm saying about him, you know, being his actual self. He can't be there because he's a rancor. That's why there's error signs. That's why he has like that injury on his eye. Maybe he can't last in here that long. So it's like the injury could progress and grow more. So he needs that mirror to be broken, or the scale to be broken as soon as possible. I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts on this? I'd really like to know. But anyway, I would just want to wrap this up now, because I'm just going to keep thinking about this and keeping you guys here with me in my awkward silent moments. But yeah, so I think it is a fun competition, pitting these two teams, or putting these two teams together. Maybe they have to fight each other in order to, you know, get to this mirror or be able to break this mirror. I don't know. I mean, SIU has his ideas on what he's going to do. So we'll just sit back and relax and enjoy what he throws our way, basically. But yeah, those are all my thoughts. Like I've said before, just, you know, list your thoughts and your theories below in the comments. Reach out to me via social media. Subscribe. Follow me on my social media. And yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys, as usual. I truly appreciate it. And I hope you guys have an amazing week. And I will catch you in the next one. Peace.